Hey everyone, this time on Tim Talks Audio, will duplicating a track make it stereo? Recently I was in a lesson with one of my students and he had a vocal session coming up and he was asking about how to get some really nice luscious stereo vocals. He then went on to ask, could he just take one recording, duplicate it, and then pan it to the left and right? So let's take a step back and talk about a mono signal. So this is something like a vocal recording or a single guitar just plugged straight into your interface. Whenever you just have one source and you have it panned up the center, that one source is going to hit both speakers or both headphones at the exact same time, phase, frequency, and amplitude. And that's essentially volume. When you take that one signal and pan it out to the side, let's say the left-hand side, what you're really doing is just reducing the volume of how much signal is going to the right speaker. Same thing if you pan in the other direction. If you then take that one track and duplicate everything about it, all the plugins, all the waveforms, literally everything, you're just duplicating it and pan it to the right, what you're essentially doing is making a stronger mono signal because the same frequencies, phase, timing, and volume are all happening at the exact same time. You just have twice as much pushing out both speakers. So you're actually just going to get a volume bump, but a mono signal. Let's get into our example. Let's dive into the DAW. So here's our session. It's just this riff I had in my head, and I put it together real quick a little while ago, and everything is mono minus the programmed drums. So I have a bass guitar here with an amp sim on it, and I have a guitar on here also with an amp sim, and I have some soothe and some compression, but we're not going to worry about that stuff right now. On its own, with everything mono, here's how it sounds. Cool, that's the riff I had in my head, but it's not big enough and it's definitely not wide enough. I want a wall of guitars hitting me, but I'm feeling lazy, so let's just duplicate our track and pan it out to the sides, and then we'll take a listen and hear our awesome wall of guitars. So we're going to go over to our track header on the left-hand side here. I'm going to right-click and come down to Duplicate Track Complete. This will copy everything, the events, the pans, the plugins, everything. And now we have two guitars. Perfect. Now let's just pan these left and right so we get this big, wide guitar sound, right? And we'll just take a listen. Here it comes again. Now, wait a minute. That didn't sound any different. I've duplicated my track. I panned it left and right. What I've done is I've made a stronger mono signal because there's no variance going on here. I didn't change anything. Now, because it's a DI guitar, could I come in and change my amp sim? Yes, you could. And will it give you those big, wide stereo guitars you're looking for? It will help. But really, the best way to do it is with multiple performances and changing stuff in the chain along the way. So what I've done, and I'm just going to get rid of this track here, is I did another take of this guitar. And I'm going to mute this one real quick because we're not listening to that. But now I have a separate take with the same guitar, and all I did on the guitar was change which pickup I was using. On the first track, I was using the treble pickup, and on the second track, I'm using the rhythm pickup. Now, with everything else exactly the same, my amp sim settings are exactly the same. I've done nothing to them except copy them over. I can take my guitars and pan them stereo, and now take a listen. because we have a different performance and a different set of pickups and just these minor variances. My timing was off a little bit. The phase of how I'm hitting the strings and it being picked up by the pickup, and just the way the moon was aligned. Everything is just a little bit different. And these minute differences add up and expand as things get bigger and bigger, giving us that stereo sound. So the easy way out of just duplicating and panning just gives you a stronger mono signal. Look, I'll show you. All right, I've done a little movie magic and set this up. I now have 3 duplicates of the exact same guitar, the exact same performance. Guitar 1 is now also guitar 4 and 3. And don't mind the order, I did it at separate times. It really doesn't matter. Guitar 1 is this track here, panned right up the center, and the fader is at -9. Then tracks 3 and 4, or 4 and 3 in this case, are panned hard left and right, but I've changed the fader to -12 because we're going to get a 3 dB bump. And that's just physics. When you double a waveform, you get physically twice as much sound coming out, and that equates to 3 dB. Let's take a listen to the differences between one mono guitar or 2 duplicates panned left and right and just brought down a little. At the end there, I threw our true stereo guitars back in so you could really hear the difference between single mono, dual mono of the exact same thing just panned out to the sides, and 2 different performances with the minor variations we talked about and how different it sounds. And if you didn't hear it, make sure you're either in your studio listening on your monitors or you're wearing your headphones. You'll really hear the difference there, mostly because the guitar that comes out the right in the true stereo sounds different. It's a little darker because it's a different pickup. So there you go. If you're looking to have wider mixes and wider songs in general, don't take the easy way out of just duplicating and maybe changing a few settings here or there. The real way to do it is to have these variances in the performance, variances in the pickups or the microphone for your vocalist. All these little changes add up and they add up and they help separate things out and create the stereo feel that we want to listen to. It helps make things wider, and everybody's looking for a wider mix that sounds natural. Naturally get it by different performances. That's all for now. If you found anything informative, please like and share the video. For mixing or lesson information, make sure to reach out to me on the Discord, which there will be a link in the description down below. And if you have a question, leave it in a comment and I'll answer it in a future video. Thanks for watching.